everyone and welcome back. In today's session, I'm going to show you how to make the roses. This is a very simple pattern which is very suitable for even beginner. The technique is simple. We just use common stitches. I have many different color combinations to make the flower. So for this flower, we will need to make 3 small petals, 3 medium petals, and 5 large petals, and a calyx and 2 leaves for 1 flower. So here, you can mix like a darker color for the small medium and a lighter one for the large petal, or you can use other color for any of the petal to make your flowers look special. For this flower, I'm still using Susan Family 4-ply cotton yarn. For this pink, use color number 2 for the darker pink, and color 49 for the lighter one, and 77 for the leaf. So you're using 2.5mm hook, and you will need some floral wire and floral stem as well, and hot glue. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so we start to make the small petals, and you will need to make 3 of them. So here I use the dark pink color, and we'll start with a magic ring. I'll show you very slowly how to make the magic ring. So make a loop. You can see that your ending tail is on your right and is below the working tail. The working tail is on your left hand side. So hold your yarn like this, and also hold the loop with your 2 fingers. And then insert your hook from above, and then wrap the yarn through the loop and make a chain stitch. And then you can release your yarn. That's a magic ring. So the chain stitch here is not, do not count this one as a stitch. Then we can start our pattern. So the first row for the small petal is 10 double crochets into the magic ring. So we need to make 2 chains. Here you've got 1 already, so make another one, another chain. So you got 2 chains, and then wrap your yarn through your hook and wrap the yarn into. Make a yarn over, and then another one. So that's a double crochet. Use a marker to mark the first double crochet, and then continue making to have 10 double crochets in total. Double crochets. Now pull this yarn to close the loop, and then you're going to make a slip stitch into the marker. And pull it tight to make the slip stitch smaller. So if we finish row 1, for row 2, you're going to make 10 half double crochets increase. So we start with 1 chain, and then into the same space where you did the slip stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochet. So wrap the yarn and insert into that same space. You have 3 strands of yarn on your hook, and then pull through all of them. So here you have 1 half double crochet. Make another one into the same space to make an increase. So repeat the pattern. At the end of the row, you should have 20 stitches in total. And for beginner, you can put the marker on the first stitch. That 10 half double crochet increase. Now do a slip stitch into the marker. And pull this one tight. So the third row, you're going to start with 1 chain, Then make a single crochet into the first stitch. So the stitch where you did the slip stitch, the first one here. So you will make 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll have a pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Repeat it for 8 times. So we start with 1 single crochet and 1 chain and a single crochet into the next stitch and repeat it 8 times. Okay, let's count. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here you should have 6 stitches left. We're gonna make 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull it tight and make 1 more chain, and then you can cut the yarn. So that the small petals and hide this until cut this here. So make 3 small petals. For the medium petal, you will need to make 3. So the first 2 rows of the medium petal are exactly the same with the small petals. So we start with the magic ring and then 10 double crochets into the ring. For row 2, you will have 10 half double crochet increase. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch. And then into the first space, make a single crochet, then a single crochet increase. So you have 2 single crochet into the same space. And then repeat it for 10 times. So 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet increase. So at the end of this row, you should have 30 stitches in total. The last stitch of the row should be an increase. And then make a slip stitch into the first one. And pull this one tight. Okay, so for the last row, row 4, we start with 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch. And then make a single crochet into the first space. And another single crochet. So you have 2 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to make a decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop of the next stitch from the front to the back. And then again from the front to the back into the next front loop. So you got 2 front loops on your hook and pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through again. So you make a decrease. And then you're going to make 4 single crochets. And then the pattern will be 1 single crochet and 2 chains and repeat it for 14 times. Make 1 single crochet and then 2 chains, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 2 chains. So the pattern will end with 2 chains, and you can count here. It should have 8 more stitches until the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're gonna do 4 single crochets. Then 1 decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, pull the yarn through, and pull the yarn through again, and you should have 2 more single crochets, and then slip stitch into the first stitch and make 1 chain. You can cut the yarn. So that's the medium petals. And hide this end tail. Okay, so you need to make 3 medium petals. So for the large petal, we'll use the lighter pink, and again, the first and the second row are exactly the same with the small with the medium one. So I'll see you at the 3rd row. And we start with 1 chain, and then the pattern will be 1 half double crochet and then 1 half double crochet increase. Repeat it for 10 times. The first stitch is going to be a half double crochet into the first stitch here, and then you're going to make a half double crochet increase in the next stitch. So make 2 half double crochet into the same space, and then repeat the pattern 10 times. So at the end of the row, you should have 30 stitches in total. So the last stitch should be a half double crochet increase. Then make a slip stitch into the first stitch. So row 4 should be similar to row 4 of the medium petals. So you make 1 chain and then 1 single crochet into the first stitch, then another single crochet. So you have 2 single crochets, and then a decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, and then yarn over. So that is 1 decrease, and then you're going to make 4 single crochet. Then we're going to make 14 patterns of 1 single crochet and then 2 chains. Okay, so that 14 patterns, and you should have 8 stitches until the end. And then we're gonna make 4 single crochet and then 1 decrease. And 2 single crochets. And then make a slip stitch to end the row. Make 1 chain, and you can cut the yarn. Okay, so that's the large petal, and you will need 5 large petals. So now we're gonna make the calyx. Use the green yarn, and we'll start with a magic green. And then into the ring, gonna make 2 chains, and do not count this one as a stitch. Then we will make 10 double crochets into the ring. Okay, so you got 10 double crochets. Pull the yarn to close the loop. Then make a slip stitch into the first stitch where you have the marker. For row 2, we will start with 2 chains, and do not count this one as a stitch. And we're gonna make 10 double crochet increase. So basically, you're gonna do 2 double crochets into every single space here. So we start making double crochet into the first space where you have the slip stitch, then another double crochet into that same space. So that is one increase. So repeat. So at the end of the row you should have 20 stitches in total. And then do a slip stitch into the first double crochet. Okay, so the calyx will have 5 petals, and each petal is worked over 4 stitches. So we start with 9 chains. Then we're going to insert the hook into the second stitch, the second loop, and make a slip stitch, then a single crochet, and 2 half double crochet. Then 2 double crochets. And then 2 treble crochet. So treble crochet, you're going to wrap the yarn through the hook 2 times, and another treble crochet. Now we're going to skip 3 stitch on the base and make a slip stitch into the 4th one. So this is the first stitch where we have where we start the chain. So do not count this one. So we count from here, from the second one. 1, 2, 3, and make a slip stitch into the 4th stitch. And repeat 9 chains. So you see that this petal will occupy 4 stitches of the base. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is the first stitch of the second petal. So repeat it until the end, and you should have 5 petals in total. This is the last petal. So you see we have 1, 2, 3 stitches left. So make a slip stitch into the last stitch. So you need a wire of about 35 centimeter. Start with the green yarn. We're going to start with a slip knot, and do not count this one as stitch. Now make 11 chains. And then put the wire on top of your yarn, and then make 1 more chain. So you will have 12 chains to start with. So we're going to work with 1 wire first. So you're going to skip the first loop, and we're going to work from the second loop and make 1 single crochet. Then 1 double crochet, then 1 treble crochet. Next one is going to be a treble crochet increase. So 2 treble crochet into the same loop. So another one into that same loop to make an increase. So in the next 4 loops, we're going to have 4 treble crochet. One, 2, 3, and 4. So you see that we have 1, 2, 3 stitches left. And next is a double crochet, and then a half double crochet. Then is in the last stitch here, we're going to do 3 single crochet into the same space. So 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be the top of the leaf. Now you can fold this wire. Then we're going to work on the other side of the leaf. So on the other side is similar to this side. So we will start with a half double crochet into the next loop. So you see this is the last loop where we have 3 single crochet. So we're going to work on the next one. And when you do a stitch, make sure that you wrap the yarn through the other wire and this end tail as well, so you can hide this. So half double crochet, then a double crochet, then 4 treble crochet, the next one is a treble crochet increase, so 2 treble into the same space, then 1 treble crochet, and then 1 double crochet, and then the last loop is going to be a single crochet. Then you're going to do a slip stitch. So bring the yarn to the back like this, and then make a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Okay, so for the second row, we're going to make the edge of the leaf. Okay, so row 2, I'm going to start with 1 chain and then make a single crochet into that first stitch where you just did the slip stitch. You can put the marker as well. And then we're going to do a pattern of 1 single crochet and then 2 chains until the top of the leaf. So 1 single crochet, 2 chain, and then make a single crochet into the next stitch and then repeat it. So we're going to repeat it for 12 times until the middle of the leaf. That 11. Okay. 12. So we end with 2 chain. And then this is the top of the leaf, and here we're going to make a picot edge. So we're going to make a single crochet and then 2 chains and make a slip stitch, and then make another single crochet into that same stitch to make the top of the edge. And now on the other side we repeat. So 2 chains and single crochet. And this is the last one, 12. And then you're going to make a slip stitch into the marker. But make sure that you bring the yarn behind the wire so it can cover the wire. And then wrap one more time the yarn through the wire. And you can cut this into and then cut this yarn, leaving a tail so we can wrap the wire. So we finished the leaf. You can make 2 leaves for 1 flower. Okay, so now we're going to assemble the flowers. Use the floral stem. And we start with the small petal. Apply some glue. So when you assemble the petal, make sure that you pin the end tail to the same height. In that way, the petal will also have the same height on the top. So the second small petal will be placed like this. Apply the glue. And the last small petal. Hold the end tail. And then apply the glue. Okay, so that's the small petals. So for the medium petal, if you look at the flower, you'll see that the medium petal, each petal will overlap the other one. So we will apply the first medium petal first and hold the end tail. The first petal will be in the middle. For the first petal, you only apply the glue on one side of the petal. The second one will cover like almost half of the first petal. For the second one, you can apply the glue on the both sides of the petal. And the last one, so the last one side will go outside of the second layer and the other side we will pin it under the first petal. So open the first petal out and apply the glue to the third petals. Open this one. Now we can apply the glue on the other side of the first petal, and then wrap it around the third one. Okay, so you can see that 3 petals. Now for the large petal, we will start from the middle of the 2 medium one. And again, for the first petal, we will apply the glue on just one side of the petal. The next one will cover the first one, cover almost half of the first one. Okay, so for the last one, we'll open the first one out, and this one will go behind the first one, inside the first one. And then apply the glue to the other side of the first petal. Then apply some glue to the end here. Wrap all the ends together. You will insert the calyx. Okay, so our flowers are complete. You can open the petal a little bit to make the flower look bigger. I hope that you like the tutorials, and please like and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming tutorial. Thank you.